The More You Know is a media and tech literacy series produced by Independent Thinker. It aims to help the public become more knowledgeable about our digital world. In this episode, we cover how to control your ad settings on Facebook.
Welcome to the deep dive. If you're joining us today, you're probably the kind of person who, well, you want to be well-informed, right?
Yeah, without feeling totally overwhelmed.
Exactly. You want the insights, you want to see the mechanics behind the curtain, and you want it delivered in a way that actually respects your time.
Spot on.
So let's set the stage for what we're looking at today. Because we live in this digital world where, it really feels like ads just follow us everywhere.
Oh, absolutely everywhere.
Right. You scroll through a feed on your phone, and suddenly there's a highly specific ad for something you were literally just thinking about. Or maybe you were just casually browsing it like an hour ago.
It can feel a little creepy.
It definitely can. But how much do we actually know about who is targeting us and, more importantly, how they're doing it?
Which is the big question.
That is our mission for today's deep dive. We are going straight into the mechanics of digital transparency. Specifically, we're looking at the Facebook ad privacy strategy.
And we have some really great material to work with for this.
We do. We have two highly specific sources on the table today. The first is a project brief for a media and tech literacy video series. It was created by a company called IndependenThinker LLC.
Okay.
And the second source is a transcript from a YouTube tutorial video. It's by the news organization Privacy International, and it's titled, How to See What Advertisers Are Targeting You on Facebook.
What's fascinating here is the origin and the strategic intent behind that first source.
Yeah, the project brief.
Right, because this isn't just a random off-the-cuff tutorial that someone decided to record on a whim in their bedroom.
Not at all.
The project brief from Independent Thinker LLC outlines a very deliberate public service announcement. It was designed as a core component of a bilingual digital marketing strategy.
Right. They had a very specific audience in mind.
Exactly. The brief explicitly states that this video serves as a PSA to help their communities, specifically targeting the Hispanic and Latino community, to become more knowledgeable about our digital world.
Which is such a crucial demographic to reach with this kind of literacy.
It is, and the underlying strategy is twofold here. On one hand, it aims to increase visibility and build trust with potential clients for Independent Thinker LLC.
Makes sense.
But on the other hand, it's simultaneously fostering this essential digital knowledge within a demographic that the campaign actively wants to empower.
And the timing of that launch is highly deliberate as well.
Oh, yeah.
The brief scheduled this video to be published on January 28, 2026.
Which is a very specific date.
Right. For anyone who follows digital rights, that date is celebrated worldwide as Data Privacy Day, usually accompanied by the hashtag #PrivacyAware.
Yeah.
Now, considering today is March 9, 2026, we're essentially looking back at this initiative just over a month later.
A little bit of a postmortem?
Exactly. We're examining the strategy in the rearview mirror to see exactly what kind of awareness and practical tools this campaign was trying to put directly into the public's hands.
And translating that complex data into something people actually want to watch, that's where the Independent Thinker brief gets highly specific.
Okay, let's unpack this, because the creative choices they made are fascinating.
They really are. Because when you're trying to teach people about data privacy and algorithmic targeting, you're dealing with a topic that can easily become incredibly dry.
Oh, for sure. It's dense.
It's dense, it's technical, and quite frankly, it can be intimidating for the average user.
Yeah.
But the brief demands a completely different approach to user education here. First, it specifies a cell phone 1080 by 1920 format.
The vertical video.
Right out of the gate, it is designed exclusively for vertical scrolling on a smartphone.
They're meeting the user exactly where they are.
Exactly. Formatting the education to match the exact environment where the data harvesting is likely happening in the first place.
And the visual parameters they request really highlight that effort to break through the noise. The brief asks for a futuristic vibe with vibrant colors and motion.
They want to catch the eye.
Right. It also suggests the use of vector images, those clean, scalable graphics to illustrate abstract concepts. And it notes that these visuals should be easily recognizable.
Which is so important.
Think about how crucial that is for you as a viewer.
Yeah.
You can't really film a camera shot of an algorithm trading your data.
No, it's completely invisible.
So you have to translate those invisible concepts into tangible visual metaphors. And then, and this is my favorite part, there's the voice profile they outline.
Yes.
They deliberately avoided a robotic corporate narrator. The brief specifically requests a tone that is casual and informative, delivered by a female narrator with a New York City accent.
Which adds such a fascinating layer to the psychology of digital consumption.
How so?
Well, specifying a female voice with a New York City accent creates a sense of street-smart authenticity.
Oh, I see.
It makes the information sound like it's coming from a savvy individual who's actively looking out for you, someone guiding you through a complex neighborhood.
Rather than a sterile tech executive lecturing you from a boardroom.
Exactly. And these creative choices matter for you, the listener, because they demonstrate a concerted effort to make dense privacy data visually engaging and memorable.
It's a pattern interrupt.
Precisely. The futuristic vibe and the vibrant colors stop you from mindlessly scrolling past. It's all about making the harsh reality of data privacy accessible and grounded for that specific Hispanic and Latino demographic they're aiming to reach.
That concept of a street-smart guide, navigating you through a complex system, brings us perfectly to our second source.
The Privacy International tutorial.
Yes. This tutorial is basically the core content that the PSA was built around. The transcript we have literally maps out the architecture of the Facebook interface.
Step by step.
But the tutorial highlights just how buried this information is. You can't just click an Add Privacy button right on your homepage.
No, they don't make it easy.
You have to actively hunt for it.
Yeah.
Imagine walking through a digital maze, trying to find a hidden control room that you probably never even knew existed on your profile.
The transcript details that friction perfectly.
Walk us through it.
According to the source, once you sign into the platform, you have to navigate to a top drop-down menu.
Okay.
Then you dig into your general settings, locate a specific submenu on a sidebar for ads.
We're already 3 clicks deep.
And finally, you arrive at an ad preference panel. But even then, you have to click into another specific section called advertisers and businesses just to see who is actually tracking you.
The architecture of the platform literally requires intention.
You have to really want to find this information to get there.
Now, a really key detail from the source that we need to highlight before we look at what's actually inside that panel.
Right, the new account.
Yeah, the person running this Privacy International tutorial explicitly states they are using a brand new Facebook account for the demonstration.
Which is an important caveat.
Because the account is brand new, they note there won't be a lot of advertisers targeting them yet.
It's basically a blank slate.
But they emphasize that when you follow these exact steps on your own personal account, an account you've likely lived in for years, you're going to see a much different, heavily populated list of advertisers.
And that is the moment of truth for the user.
It really is.
When you finally navigate that digital maze and open the advertisers and businesses panel on a lived-in account, the curtain is pulled back.
So what's actually in there?
The Privacy International transcript breaks down the specific anatomy of the targeted ads you'll find there. The platform categorizes the data points into 6 distinct areas.
Okay, let's go through them.
The first category shows advertisers who uploaded a list with your information and advertised to you.
Let's pause on that for a second. That means the advertiser already had your data from somewhere completely outside of Facebook.
Yes.
They compiled a list, brought it to the platform, uploaded it, and then pointed their ads directly at you based on that external information.
Precisely. It bridges your offline or external digital life right to your platform profile.
Wow.
Now, the second category takes that a step further. It shows businesses who have uploaded and shared a list with your information.
Shared, meaning they gave it to someone else.
Exactly. This implies a broader ecosystem where your data isn't just being held by one single entity. It's actively being passed or traded between different businesses who are coordinating their targeting efforts.
That paints a much larger picture of how information moves behind the scenes.
It really does. Then the source moves into actions you have actively taken. The third category shows businesses whose website, app, or shop you've interacted with.
So if you are browsing shoes on a separate website, that interaction is feeding back into this panel.
Right. The fourth category lists businesses you have visited, which ties your physical location data or your check-ins to the ad targeting engine.
Merging the physical with the digital.
The fifth category tracks businesses whose ads you have previously clicked on within the platform itself.
Right, a feedback loop.
Exactly. Interacting with an ad ensures you are categorized for more targeting from that business.
And finally, the sixth category shows who you have actively hidden in your panel. So what does this all mean for you practically?
It's a lot of data.
It is. It's one thing to stare at a massive categorized list of businesses that have been trading your information, tracking your clicks, or sharing your data.
Right.
But the source actually gives us a practical application for this information. The transcript points out that in your panel, next to these businesses, you should see an option to have the advertiser removed from the list.
Which introduces a mechanism for user agency.
You can actually do something about it.
Yes. You can actually go through that populated list on your personal account one by one and actively remove the advertisers you see.
Based on the information presented in that specific control room.
It allows you to take direct action to clean up your immediate digital footprint.
It definitely feels empowering to finally find that hidden menu and start clicking remove. But here is where it gets really interesting and where the source reveals a major twist.
Yeah, this is the catch.
Just when you think you've solved the puzzle and cleaned house, the Privacy International transcript points out a severe limitation to everything we just discussed.
It's not the whole story.
Not at all. The source explicitly states that what you're seeing in this ad preference panel, the uploaded lists, the shared lists, the draft interactions, it is restricted to the past 7 days only.
Only 7 days.
You are only seeing a 1-week window of data.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the implications of that 7-day limitation fundamentally change the nature of that control room.
Completely.
As the source describes it, this menu provides only a very small snapshot of what advertisers are actually targeting you.
Think about the lifespan of your digital footprint.
Right. If you've been on the platform for 5, 10, or 15 years, the algorithmic profile built around your habits is incredibly vast and deeply complex.
It's massive.
Yet the primary user-facing dashboard, the one that requires multiple clicks and menu deep dives just to find in the first place, only gives you a rolling 7-day window.
It changes the entire perspective of that remove button.
It really does.
While the tutorial acknowledges that this 7-day snapshot still offers some insights into your current targeting, it is ultimately incomplete.
It creates an illusion of total transparency.
That's a great way to put it.
You feel like you're looking at the whole picture because the menu is literally labeled advertisers and businesses. But it is keeping the vast majority of historical targeting data hidden from that immediate, accessible view.
It's a highly curated glimpse into your own data.
Presented as a comprehensive dashboard.
Which means, if you really want to understand the full scope of who has your data, you cannot rely on the visual interface alone.
No, you can't.
You have to bypass that curated dashboard entirely. Thankfully, the source doesn't just leave us hanging with that 7-day illusion.
Right. There's another step.
The Privacy International transcript explains a secondary, much deeper method to see the advertisers beyond that limited window.
But this requires another journey through the architecture of the platform.
The shift here is moving from a visual interactive menu to requesting raw data.
To get the real historical picture, the source outlines a completely different path.
Where do we go?
You have to navigate all the way back to your general platform settings. But instead of looking for the ads submenu we used earlier, you have to look for a completely different section labeled Your Facebook Information.
Okay, totally different branch of the menu tree.
Exactly. From there, you access your information, and finally, look for an option to download your information.
And the tutorial highlights that this isn't a simple toggle switch. The sheer volume of data you're dealing with when you bypass that 7-day limit can be staggering.
It's enormous.
The source explains that once you hit that download section, you are presented with a choice. You could request a copy of absolutely everything your account has ever generated.
Which would be a massive, sprawling file of your entire history on the platform. Every like, every comment.
Or you can smartly limit the download specifically to what most interests you, which is what the tutorial recommends for this exercise.
The source suggests you can filter the requests specifically to ads and businesses. By selecting just that option and creating a file, you are commanding the platform to compile the raw historical data of your ad interactions.
You're essentially submitting a request to a bureaucratic basement for your own permanent record.
That's a perfect analogy.
Rather than relying on the shiny 7-day display they put up in the lobby to distract you.
That is exactly the dynamic the transcript reveals. The core value here for you, the listener, is recognizing the profound difference between the surface and the substance of digital platforms.
There's a massive gap.
There really is a massive gap between accepting the surface-level 7-day snapshot provided by the default user interface and taking the extra, often hidden steps to download your actual data file.
It really has been a journey tracking the layers of this topic today.
It has.
Let's synthesize what we've covered in this deep dive. We started by looking at a project brief from IndependenThinker LLC, examining a highly specific bilingual digital marketing strategy.
We saw how they plan to use vibrant, futuristic visuals and a street-smart New York City accent to create a PSA.
Right, one that could break through the noise and empower the Hispanic and Latino community on Data Privacy Day.
And from understanding the strategy behind making privacy education accessible, we dove into the actual mechanics of the platform, courtesy of the Privacy International transcript.
We look at the friction of the user interface, the sheer number of clicks required justifying the ad preference panel in the first place.
We explored the 6 categories of targeted data, from external uploaded lists to shared business networks.
We uncovered the twist that the visual dashboard only provides a 7-day illusion of transparency, hiding years of historical data.
And finally, we explored the secondary process of bypassing that interface entirely to download the raw data file of your ad interactions.
The sources highlight that true digital literacy requires knowing that the first answer a platform gives you, even if it's in a dedicated settings menu, isn't always the complete answer.
It requires an active, continuous pursuit of your own digital footprint, moving beyond the curated interfaces designed by the platforms themselves.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive today. But before we go, I want to leave you with a final provocative thought to mull over, building on everything we've just explored.
Give us something to think about.
You've seen the instructions detailed in the source. You know how many clicks, how many hidden menus, and how many downloaded files it takes just to piece together a basic list of who has your information and who is trading your data.
It's a lot of work.
It raises an interesting question for you to explore on your own. If a platform truly, genuinely wanted you to be in control of your digital transparency, wouldn't this complex multi-step download process be replaced by a simple, permanent, comprehensive dashboard right on your homepage?
You would think so.
Think about what the architecture of these menus and days, the buried settings, the 7-day limits, the separate download requests. Think about what that tells you about how much they actually want you to see. Until next time, keep questioning the interface.
For more episodes related to media, social media, tech, and privacy, visit our YouTube channel, Independent Thinker LLC.